You have 5 seconds to subscribe, or he will be behind your back. People who actually had sex with step-siblings. Why? Pornhub must be down for maintenance. Op had to come find out the rest of the storyline. You know way too much. A guy I knew in high school got laid in the middle of the football field, so it was notable for many reasons and he bragged around about it. Right after our freshman year of college they became step-siblings lol. Hey beauty. This is her new stepsister. Why don't you two get to know each other while I talk with her mom? Throw away for obvious reasons. Not exactly my stepsister. It's worse actually I guess. It was my cousin. She grew up on the other side of the country and I never knew about her existence. My mom didn't stay in contact with that side of the family at that point. She found me on social media when I was 19 and she was 18 and we talked from time to time. It's safe to say she was really attractive, but I never wanted to mention it because I felt weird. But to my surprise she was the one who initiated flirty remarks towards my looks. I actually ignored them at that time or just laughed them off. Couple of years later she was coming over to my city to see her boyfriend who was working here, but she couldn't stay at his place because well, he didn't have one. He was already sleeping on a friend's sofa. She asked if she could stay at my apartment, and I said sure, no problem. She came by the following weekend late Friday evening with a bottle of gin as a thank you for letting her stay. Now, I rarely drink, but she's a crazy party person, and kept guilt tripping me into drinking more. I was having fun to be honest, so I complied, and at one point I was drunk enough to allow myself to get kissed. I mean, I know it's strange as hell, because she was my cousin, but this was the first time in my life I ever saw that girl, so emotionally I didn't see her as one and seriously, she was ridiculously hot. My penis was thinking for me at that point. We laughed it off saying yeah that was inappropriate, and stayed up for another couple of hours watching shit on Netflix and drinking. Eventually we both felt tired, and I started taking an inflatable mattress out of my wardrobe, so that she didn't have to sleep on the floor. I only have one bed here and always offer it to people staying over. She stopped me midway saying that she thought she would just sleep next to me, in my bed. I would be lying if I said I felt uncomfortable then. I was more like yeah whatever, I'm drunk and I wanna sleep now. After we got into bed, long story short, she cuddled up with me, started rubbing her hand against my arm, then chest and went down into my pants. Before this gets too detaily and turns into some fanfiction novel, I'm just gonna say straight up, we had sex after and then went to sleep. I don't regret this or feel ashamed. I don't feel guilty either. I hadn't known her before, didn't see her as a real blood cousin kind of thing and she initiated every step of the interaction. If she wasn't so attractive I probably wouldn't have done it. It was years ago now. We talk occasionally, but after she left to go back to her city we never spoke of it again. My now fiance knows about it and thinks it's funny, but doesn't want to ever see her, which isn't too much of an issue, because it's not like we have family meetups every year. Because if he's gonna be fking my mom, you bet your ass I'll be fking his daughter. Nice try Pornhub, go find your own plots. Not me but an old friend of mine had a stepsister. They were around 14 to 15 when their families got together, and being at that age and suddenly having a girl who isn't related to you by blood staying in close proximity made it hard for them. I guess one day they realized that, since their parents often weren't home they could literally FK and not have anyone catch them or wonder what they're doing, since they're brother and sister. This apparently went on until the sister went to uni. They're both in separate relationships and still get along well, but not too well anymore, if you know what I mean. In my hometown there was a reverse case. The boy's mother died, and the girl was daughter of a single mom. The two married, and always invited their parents for everything. The parents grew close, and ended up marrying. So, the first couple ended up being married step-siblings. These case ended on the court, where the judge decided that, while step-sibling marriage is illegal, the law can't be applied to past cases, as they weren't step-sibling when they married, and no law forbid the older couple to marry, as they weren't from the same family before their children's marriage, so everybody got happy ever after. So this is a very strange situation. Not me, but my mom and dad. Long before my parents even met, my grandparents on both sides got divorced. My parents met, got married, and had me, but ended up divorced before I could form memories. I don't know when it happened. I do know that after my parents got divorced, my mom's dad and my dad's mom got married. They are still married to this day. Because of that, technically, my parents are step siblings that had sex. It might have been before they became step siblings, but I think the story fits. Kind of a different perspective, but I dated a girl in high school, and it didn't work out. I began dating another girl in college, and 2 years later they became stepsisters. I didn't realize this until we met a new stepsister at the mall, and she introduced us to each other. We both were horribly awkward, silent the whole day, and I eventually told my GF later that I used to date her new stepsister. She broke up with me because of it, and refuses to talk to her stepsister as well. I think their parents have been married about 5 to 6 years now. I honestly felt terrible about it. I don't know why you felt bad. It wasn't as if you or the two step siblings knew what was going to happen later down the road. I will ask if she broke up with as soon as she knew, or if she at least tried to get past the awkwardness of the situation. She was trying to steal my lemons. Lemon stealing whores. Because we both wanted to learn more about each other's bodies. I worked with a guy who claimed his stepsister gave him head because she wanted practice. I thought he was full of shit. Later that year, I had some friends that had a co-worker that said she used her stepbrother for practice in bed. Turns out my co-worker was her stepbrother, and he wasn't full of shit. He had quit by time I found out. Not that I would have brought it up. They were like 16 to 18 years old. She was pretty, so I could see him having trouble fighting her off. So yeah, it probably happens often, but isn't admitted often. Those two had no shame though, kind of strange. So my cousin, he's 21 now, and his stepsister, 20, were dating in high school. They got caught doing the naughty in class, and their parents were called in, and his dad, my uncle, and her mom, my now aunt, met and fell for each other, and now they are married. So my cousin and his ex/stepsister broke up. I was always super close to my cousin, so I'm close to her too, and knew her pretty well before they were step siblings. Maybe about a year ago I got high with them and asked them if they ever banged after their parents were married, and they seemed to get pretty uncomfortable and denied it. I giggled a bit because that's a yes. She has since admitted to me that they had once, but he won't admit it. I ain't judging them. It's kind of a weird situation. She's not bad looking, so I'd probably have to. What's kinda weird was I was in their house when they had, because the family was drinking, and I guess that led to things. I always get a good chuckle when I think of it. A little backstory. My dad married her mom. I'm the oldest of 3 brothers, she's the oldest of 3 sisters. We all moved into one house. Dad didn't plan this out well, because the 3 boys had to share one bedroom and the 3 girls shared another. Oh, and only one bathroom between the 6 of us kids. Anyway, it seemed like she was always having some stupid issue. Upset because braces. Upset because she can't join the Boy Scouts. Upset because of a temporarily swollen nose. With all of that emotion flying around, it had to come out some way. So one night mom and dad are out. The maid is out on a date with the butcher, so us kids are left alone. She and I went to my funky bedroom, that used to be my dad's study, then to my funky bedroom in the attic, and something suddenly came up. Well, our parents moved in together before they got married, and we were 16 and horny. We dated off and on for longer than our parents were married, and it was very convenient as a teenager to live in a soundproof basement with my GF living upstairs. It got a little weird when our parents caught us, but they eventually accepted it. Then we broke up. Our parents divorced, and we moved to separate states. My stepsister is hot, and I would do it in a heartbeat. Not sure why that's so taboo, TBH. We aren't related genetically. There's no difference between her and a stranger on the street. It probably helps that we didn't grow up together, and we don't actually consider each other step siblings. But even that's the exact same situation. I think it's mostly taboo if step siblings grow up together, but meeting as adults, I can see how it's not that weird. Not a step siblings, but think it's relevant. My cousin was dating this girl since they were 13. When they turned 16, their parents got a divorce and then got married to each other's. Her mom, my uncle, There was about 6 months where they were both like FK, this is too easy now. Just because I'm an asshole I love telling people my cousin is hot. She is drop dead gorgeous honestly, and then explaining the above situation. They are not friendly anymore, although they get along. While at family events, she is the most well adjusted of our family and on the path to be the most successful. My stepsister grew up to be a stripper. Her husband and I were friends and I ended up staying with them during a few months of college. One night she came in my room to fake wrestle and got me to chase her to the bedroom. She then took all of her clothes off and her husband said he wanted to see me do her. I said no, but she continued to demonstrate her skills solo, which included putting a large wrench in her vagina. Sorry, but it was too weird. The FK did I just read? Thank you very much for watching. In the comments under the video, write what you think about all this. And also do not forget to watch our other videos. Bye.